All right, swimmers, this episode of the SWIMVICE Pro Analysis Swim Series is based on athlete Sun Yang, where I analyze two separate races of the same event, 1500-meter freestyle. First, I analyzed the 2011 World Record or World Championships at a time of 14 minutes, 34.14 seconds. And I follow that with analyzing his 2014 race in the Asian Games with a time of 14 minutes, 54.86 seconds. The point of this episode is strictly on the freestyle extension and the catch and how that adds up or connects with his timing. So it's really interesting to see. There's a lot that you can learn from this race and also the other one where you see some similarities in terms of where he's extending and also how that affects his body position. And before I get started, be sure to subscribe to our monthly newsletter at swimvice.com. All right, so as I play this through, there's going to be moments where I freeze frame to point out certain positions in terms of the key points I mentioned earlier. So he pushes off the wall here with just one single kick, not too much, right into his first stroke. And as you see him moving forward with his timing, I have it freeze framed right about here. And you can see that his left arm is entering the water while he has a great catch with his right arm. He has a full hold of the water, and you notice that his timing is out front, meaning arms are out front, nothing is slipping. As well as you can see from this angle too, the left catch as his right hand is entering the water. He has great body position. And really that timing is where it occurs is out front. And that's how he's able to get a great catch and a full hold of the water to move past it. And one of the key concepts with this is that especially for a distance race, you want to maintain that timing out front as often as possible. And again, I have it freeze framed. You can see it's identical to the original stroke. And there's nothing different about it, but he does have a full hold of the water. Here's another angle so you can see from this depth. One of the things to mention is look at how much of a catch he has on that right arm. Now, how he's able to create such a good catch has to do with what leads up to it, which is the extension of the arm. So right here, as I have it freeze framed, you can see he doesn't have that good of a catch at this moment with his left arm. And that has to do with the extension of the arm, which I will show you in a minute. So right here, you can see that in this freeze frame, again, the right arm has a great catch. And what leads up to it is the extension of that right arm, which I will freeze frame in a moment. But here, you can see that his left arm is aiming a bit high. And you'll notice that his catch on his left side at this moment isn't as good as the right side. But they switch. But at this moment, you can see his hold of water isn't as dramatic as it is here, where his extension of his right arm is slightly downhill. It's just slightly under the water. It's not so shallow. And due to that depth, he's able to get a better catch. You see it right there, a full bend of his elbow out front, slightly slipping on his left side. And I point this out because the extension of his arm makes a big difference in terms of getting a great hold of the water. All right, so here's from another moment off the wall. You see here, nice long streamline, no kick, saving energy since it is a distance event. But again, going back to the extension of the arm is that when it's slightly shallow, he doesn't get as good of a catch as he does when it's slightly deeper. So you see right there with that right arm, is that he has a full hold of the water, and the main thing is that his timing happens out front. So the catch occurs out front due to timing. Both arms are out front as often as possible. Right as you see here at this freeze frame, he's got his left arm and his right arm out front, full catch with his right arm due to the timing being out front, and the depth of that arm leading up to the catch is formed properly. And again, here is just another view of exactly the same point. You see there's some extra movement by the arm falling down a little bit when he extends too shallow. And I point this out just so that you can see having those arms slightly deeper is working to his advantage. His arms are relaxed enough to be able to form the hold and move forward. So his focus is forward. He's got a good hold of the water consistently, and his hands are relaxed. So you can see that he consistently maintains his timing, which is how he's able to form the catch, again, out front, as forward as possible, because he's able to get a full hold of the water without anything slipping. And as you see off this wall, that he has a full hold of the water from that left arm, a nice release. And I freeze frame it here because his right arm slips just a little bit where his catch is a little late. But you see he makes up for it on this left arm right here. Again, full hold of the water. Actually, he's pressing from his back, his lats versus his shoulders. He's forming it from his entire body to move past the water. And that's what he's able to consistently hold for each stroke. All right, so I'm just going to let this play through and just let those key points sink in while he watch his form for another segment of this race. All right, so from this race, I just took some clips underwater so you can see the extension and the depth of the extension, as well as the catch and timing and how they are connected. So right here, I have it freeze framed where his right arm is extended, not shallow, but deep, but his hand is relaxed. So I want you to see there's no cupping with his hand. You could actually see the space between his fingers, and that's helping him stay relaxed to ultimately form a catch, as you also see here with his left arm. Full hold of the water, and again, the arms are out front, and that is how the catch is connected from a combination of the extension of his arm and the timing out front. So go ahead and watch this through, or this clip, and see how he maintains both arms out front as often as possible. Here is another angle where you can see the depth of the extension of his arm for both the right and the left arm. As I have freeze framed here, during a breath, his left arm is deep. There's a space between his head position and his arm. It's not cramped together. And that's going to provide the amount of space and fluidity to be able to form that hold of water or catch. Here it is in slow-mo, so you can watch it all the way through. And now right about here, I have it freeze framed again, now with the right arm, so you can see the extension is not shallow, it is deeper in the water, and that's going to provide the amount of space that he needs to create that catch. So it's very symmetrical, it's even, and very smooth. But he's swimming very fast. So there's a lot of power behind it, but he is really prioritizing being as streamlined as possible. And here you can see again, the extension of the arm is slightly downhill. And I say slightly because you don't want to go too deep. You also don't want to be too shallow. And you can see right here, his right arm hand is actually separated. You can see the fingers are separated. His hands are relaxed, and that is due to water being very thick. And when you move through it, you create a web. But most importantly, the reason why his hands are like that is to maintain relaxation out front and taking away unneeded or unnecessary tension from his hands. All right, so I'm just going to have you watch this all the way through and just take in the information and see why this is working well for him and how you can apply this to your own practice. All right, swimmers, so this is why I did this episode, specifically addressing the extension of freestyle and timing and how that all connects to form the catch. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll be sure to answer them as soon as I can. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand corner to be notified every week of new videos to help with your swim practice. All right, swimmers, I hope you found this video informative. Enjoy your practice, and I will see you all next week.